All right. So we were in 2nd Ezra 13 and 37. And it says in the Apocrypha, it says, and this my son, who is a Mashiach Yahushai, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, right? So now, how Mashiach Yahushai say he coming back? Let's read Isaiah 47 and 3. It's saying, thy nakedness, talk about the Edomites. That's going to be, it's tell you in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So it said, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. So all the things that they're doing, that's wicked, going to be uncovered. Yeah, that shame shall be seen, right? Look at what he said. The shame shall be seen. The nakedness shall be uncovered, and that shame shall be seen. So that's why he said in Lamentations 4:22. Lamentations 4:22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. So this is when powers and authority, salvation is coming to the Israelites. So our punishment is accomplished. Because we've been punished, for sure. He brought the judgment upon us. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. See? We ain't going to captivity no more. He said, what are you going to do? He will visit thine iniquity. You see? He going to visit thine wickedness. Who? O daughter of Edom. We're reading about in Isaiah 47 and 3. He will discover thy sins, right? Their sins, what they have done. That's why he said, Isaiah 47 and 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, being discovered of their sins. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. That's the sins that they've done. He's going to discover their sins. He said, I will take vengeance. He said, he's going to take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. He said, I will not meet thee as a man. He said, I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. He coming in his angelic power. He hanging out with Michael, the archangel of war. That's why he said it. Don't get it twisted. He said, Amos 9 and 8. Book of Amos 9 and 8. He said, behold, the eyes of the Most High, which are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. The eyes of the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, are upon the sinful kingdom. That's America. And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Hear what he said? He said, save it. He going to save somebody. That I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. You're not going to utterly destroy us, because 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel going to be redeemed. Said the Most High. For lo, I will command, he going to command the angels, and I will sift the house of Israel, the families of Israel, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, among all nations. That's why, people be tripping on the 12 tribes sign, but it says we scattered in the four corners of the earth. Understand this. We scattered among all nations. That's why he got to sift us from among all nations. Like as corn is sifted in a seed. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. That's the 1/3. Shall not fall upon the earth. Listen to what he say. All the sinners of my people, all you that say you ain't under the law, and you sinning, you not following the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. He gonna kill you. You got a choice. Choose life or death. But it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter. That mercy and grace being lifted up. That's why he said it's time of Jacob's trouble. Everybody talking about this. They said they got to stop us from bringing forth this truth. So we don't have freedom of religion. We don't have freedom of speech. Because we teaching the Bible. We can't teach the Bible no more. Is that what's going down? All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Yeah. You better understand and understand this is real. Going back to 2nd Ezra 13 and 34, 37. And this my son, who's a Mashiach Yahushai, who's not coming like a man, he's coming with vengeance. Shall rebuke the wicked This my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, all their ordinances. The army, the navy, the marines, and air force of all these nations that exist today. Future prophecy, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. For their wicked life is fallen into the tempest. He gonna discover their sins. See, Most High said, hey, he been quiet too long. Just a judgment. And shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented. How y'all got love out of this? Get the Most High all love out of this, if thou can. He gonna tell them their thoughts, their evil thoughts. He gonna start to tell them what he's going to do to them. How you gonna begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. That's fire. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law. The same law that you say that we're not under. The moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. He gonna destroy them by the law. And all you that don't believe that you under the law, you're gonna be destroyed by the law. That's the same what he just said. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. He just said that. You're gonna die by the law, which is like unto fire. That's why I read to you Jeremiah 23 and 29. It's not my word like as a fire and a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. Y'all better hear what he's saying before it's too late. Look, go to, since we near Isaiah, go to Isaiah 53rd chapter. Verse 1. Who have believed our report? And to whom is the arm of the Most High revealed? Because it's not revealed to everybody. Some people hear, and it's like, wah, 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 wah. What do he say? What do he say? They don't hear it, or they go to sleep. Because they remember the Most High put Esau in darkness. Isaiah 47 and 5. And Isaiah 62, he put the people in gross darkness. But he told us, he's going to do this. He told us, if you don't follow me, I'm going to give you to them. So we don't have nothing to be complaining about. It's our fault. But he also told Esau that he went above the call of duty. He abhorred the affliction. That's why he's going to be dealt with, like we were dealt with. But he shall grow up before him, so Mashiach Yahushua, as a tender plant, and as a root out of the dry ground, coming into the Roman Empire. After the Greeks, they brought forth the abomination of desolation. It was against the law to even call ourselves an Israelite. Be put to death. Took our women, that circumcised the boys and tied their babies on their breasts and drug them all around the street, as it is written in the Maccabees. We just went over this in the Feast of Dedication. We got to go through our days that we say we announce that we're going to keep in remembrance of getting the victory of our enemies, but it ain't nothing that's beautiful. We got to go through this and then turn our minds away from what has happened to us or that happened to us and have a good time. That's why Isaiah left you with the last thing he said was, you're going to see the carcasses of the men that have trespassed against the Most High, where the worms never died and the fires never quenched. It's going to be abhorring to us. We're going to hate to see that, but we still going to have new moons and Sabbaths and holy days and so forth, and we got to see this. So what is he doing? He leaving us with what? You better do what I say do, or you're going to end up over there too. Everybody going to see you over there. See, if it was like that now, everybody be righteous. Everybody be trying to be right. Everybody will fear the Most High. Oh, yes, that's a lot of fear. When you sitting there looking at them bodies and the worms just eating them up and the fires never, yeah, that's going to be, we're going to hate that. But, oh, man, we got to do it. We got to deal with it. That's the last thing Isaiah told us. You know, Mashiach went to Isaiah a lot. But that's the last thing Isaiah told us. That's in the kingdom. When the Most High created new heavens and new earth. We have a great time, but then we got to leave. Before you go, you're going to see that. And I mean, the Most High ways and thoughts are our ways and thoughts. We don't know how it's going to be in the kingdom, but I can see just now, he just showed me that it just appear in front of your face. Boom, in your eyes, in your mind. You boom, that's what you see. Like he's going to show you in the minds. They put them glasses on and you see certain things. In your mind, you just see it. And you walking away, everybody like, can you imagine everybody having a good time and boom, you see everybody. That's why I say that movie Dark Angel Dear Sin is a good movie to look at. Show you what's happening in hell. You see what I'm saying? And what comes up on the top of the earth, and whatever you wrong and you do iniquity, wickedness, you be sent back to their daddy. I'm not gonna tell you about the movie, but I mean, it is a good movie to look at as far as the perspective of hell. Look, going back to my second shot, Salaki, I digress. It says, it's Isaiah 53:2, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. Ain't no water. He that water that's nourishing the ground that we walking on when he came to the earth. Listen, he have no form nor comeliness, so he wasn't a good looking man. No form nor beauty or handsome. And when we see, and we shall see him, shot. There is no beauty, hear that? There is no beauty that we should desire him. So he didn't come on this earth looking like a handsome man. When we see him, say there's no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men. A man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. Here he come. There he is. Get away from him. Get away. Let me run away. Let me run away from him. There you go. You hear what it said? And acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised. Y'all talking about y'all love y'all Jesus. Get out of here. He was despised. If you Christians, you hear everything that he say, and you say you still love him, then you could be an Israelite. You that come from the waters of Judah, I might say. But you see here, he was despised. He was despised. When he taught, they wanted to kill him. They picked up stones and stone him. This is your Jesus. And he had to run through the crowd to get away from these crazy Pharisees, scribes, and chief high priests, and those that despised him. Hear that? He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Like all y'all gotta be exalted. He wasn't exalted. He would heal people. You know he was brother. He would heal people and say, don't tell nobody I done it. Even with the head apostle Peter, he said, hey, who been say that I am? He said, thou art a Mashiach. He said, don't tell nobody I am a Mashiach. Don't tell nobody. He didn't make himself no reputation. He that exalt himself shall be abased. You're going to be brought down. He that humble himself shall be exalted. And the Most High exalted him above all, gave him a name above all names. Truly he hath borne or carried our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was wounded for our transgressions, for our sins. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Now they read this in the church. They say that with his stripes we are healed, but y'all ain't keeping the laws of the Most High. Y'all think that he done nailed everything you can do that's wrong on the tree. Or I say on the cross, because y'all don't know nothing about it. He was hanging on the tree. He was hanging on the tree, y'all. But y'all say he was hanging on the cross, right? But y'all know this, by his stripes we are healed. So y'all look for an excuse to be able to say you can do whatever you want to do in sin, in transgressing the Most High's rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments. And the Mashiach is taking care of that for you. going to the Most High asking for forgiveness for you. You ain't got to learn it, live, and apply his laws, his rules and regulations in your life. No, let me show you something. Let me show you that. He ain't going to the Most High on your behalf, man. Look. If you hear my voice, and you ain't going to try and pay attention to what it is that's coming out, and you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, that's what it says. Hebrews, the 10th chapter. I like to go to the New Testament, which y'all believe in. Hebrews, the 10th chapter, the 26th chapter, 26th verse. Now, actual preacher about this. It says, for if we sin willfully. Now, we got to define what sin is, right? He said we sin willfully. 1 John 3 and 4. This is sin in the New Testament. 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committeth sin, just define sin. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. You hear that? For sin is the transgression of the law, or the breaking of the Most High's laws. And he gave us 613 laws, y'all. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, and ceremonial laws. Read it to you again. In the New Testament. 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. So now when you go back to Hebrews 10 and 26, it says, for if we sin, if we break the Most High's laws, which are taught that you're not under, willfully, just I can do whatever I want to do. Jesus nailed my sins to the cross when he died. That's foolishness. You heard what he said in Amos 9 and 10. Don't forget it. But we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth. After we have received the knowledge of the truth and you reject the truth, what's the truth? We all can sing it together, class. Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Hear what it said? For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. My sacrifice shall let you know I am not going to the Most High on your behalf. You can say I nailed your sins to the cross all you want to, but I'm not going to the Most High, no way, shape, or form on your behalf. Take that. You can run with that. Listen what it say, but certain fearful. That means you scared. You're afraid, looking for a judgment. That's the punishment for breaking his laws and fiery indignation that he just read about. I told you. You know, well, the worms never die and the fires never quench, which shall devour the adversaries. You hear that? Because you become the enemy of the Most High. You don't want to do what he say do. How are you going to save you from the tempest that he's bringing forth? The fire that he's bringing forth, remember he said, hey, he put the rainbow in the sky to remind himself he's not going to flood the earth anymore. He's going to bring fire. How are you going to save yourself from the fire that's coming on this earth to destroy people? And you say that you can do whatever you want to do. You can do it however you want to do. I want this, I want it this way, that way. You better think again. Since we're in Hebrews, look at Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Yeah, that's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. But you want to do it your way? You're going to find out. You need to mute your phone.
Has joined.
Whoever just came in, can you mute your phone? Just a moment. Hold on. Okay. All right. Um, Look at verse 30. For we know him that have said, vengeance belongeth unto me. See, I will recompense. I'm going to get you. Said who? The Most High. And again, the Most High shall judge his people. That's why he said it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. All the things that we done to him. But he said, all you need is me, and we done broke his heart, man. We made him cry. Think about that. We made him cry. And people are going to come about and deal with this truth in a way that they want to deal with it and think that it's okay. Man, you better ask somebody. Look at Wisdom of Solomon, the 16th chapter. And in the Apocrypha, we're going to look at verse 15. While you think that you can run here over here, or run here and run there, like he said, he gave you a calling. And when those that are called go some other way, listen to what he said. Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 15 in the Apocrypha say, but it is not possible, meaning it is impossible, to escape thine hand. It is impossible. He said, it is not possible to escape the Most High's hand. But the unrighteous that denied to know thee were scourged by the strength of thine arm, with strange rains, hails, and showers were they persecuted, that they could not avoid, and through fire were they consumed. You hear that? Do you believe that? You see what the Most High is doing on this earth right now, y'all? You can't play with this, man. This is serious. And through fire were they consumed, right? Look at, this is we're in Hebrews. You ain't got to go that far. Go to Hebrews 12, chapter and verse 29. He would have said, for our power is a consuming fire. That's why you better choose the right way, yo. Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 16. For the unrighteous that denied to know thee was scourged by the strength of thine arm, with strange rains. Like California, Northern California got strange rains like they've never seen before. Hails. They had hail coming down like big baseballs, destroying roofs, destroying cars. Hails. Shoot, that's nothing. The most I had hail coming down that weighed 75 pounds one time. Can you imagine that? No, you can't imagine. I can't imagine it. Hail coming down weighing 75 pounds? Man. Look what it says. For the unrighteous, verse 16 of Wisdom of Solomon 16th chapter, that denied to know thee, was scourged by the strength of thine arm. Remember Psalm 96 and 5 says, for all the gods of the nations are idols. So are you to join us to these other nations that's not dealing with the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's name was changed to Israel and became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel? Was scourged by the strength of thine arm, with strange rains, hails, and showers were they persecuted, that they could not avoid, and through fire were they consumed. We just read the Most High is a consuming fire, for which is most to be wondered at. The fire had more force in the water that quenched all things, that the world fighteth for the righteous. You know? The world is fighting for the righteous. For some time the flame was mitigated that it might not burn up the beast that were sent against the unrighteous, but themselves might see and perceived that they were persecuted with the judgment of the Most High. He had the beast rolling through the fire and killing people. But the fire didn't affect them. Just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was in the fire, and the Mashiach came among them, and they even smell like smoke. So don't tell me what the Most High can't do. That's why I gave a testimony. I had people come online and testify of the power of the Most High, the miracles that they done seen in their life and went through in their life. And I told you, most of these leaders ain't gonna come on there. Actual leaders, try talk about the testimonies of the Most High, miracles. They didn't show up and showed out in their life. It's very important. Because some people ain't seen nothing. They ain't experienced nothing. How you know the Most High exists? I remember that time I said, I was talking about, I really don't want to talk about it because last time I talked about it, he showed up and really showed out. But before I started class, before I set up the prayers, I was getting ready to go to pray. I said that Most High ain't came to California out here and showed out in a long time. I remember. And I said, people out here don't know nothing about no thunder. Y'all know y'all about witnesses in class. I said, they don't know nothing about no thunder, real thunder. Like y'all, all y'all back east, down south, and east coast, it be thundering so loud, you pull over, and you be sitting on the side of the road, with it lightning, it be so loud, or you in your house, you sit down, you turn off, ain't no social media on, you ain't doing none of that, TV's on, you turn all that stuff off, and you sitting still. And man, I took 3 steps, I got up and took 3 steps, and the Most High thundered really loud with an earthquake, and it was shaking. And I was up there praising the Most High, praising, but I was shaking. Right there, I was shaking. But it was thunder. You don't usually hear no thunder with no earthquake. I've been out there. You don't have no thunder with no earthquake. You have seen anybody from Cali ever see that? No, we don't see that. It'd be shaking, it'd be like, you might hear some roaring or whatever, but it don't.
Has joined.
It don't thunder with an earthquake. And it was thundering. Can you imagine that? And that's how it was probably on the top of Mount Sinai. When he came, it showed out. Probably a volcano erupted, smoke coming all out the mountain, it says, and thunder and lightning and the ground shaking. And he said, we don't want to talk to the Most High, Moses. We want to talk to you. We talk to the Most High, we might die. That's a feeling that y'all gotta say, what do you got to do to get your attention, to realize he's real? That's why, look what he's saying. Look. Verse 18, which is Psalm 16. For some time, the flame was mitigated that it might not burn up the beast that were sent against the unrighteous. See, y'all got to understand, y'all need to understand, understand this, because it's very important. Because people don't realize enough of the Most High, I'll just say enough of the Most High. People ain't talking about him. Y'all ain't talking about him enough. You talking about Israel, or what he gonna do for you, this, that, and the third, whatever. What you want and what you need in your prayer. You praying, but you ain't learning about him according to this word. Enough, I might say. You ain't talking about him. The conversation ain't about him enough. You better hear what he's saying. He sent them beasts out there. And the beast didn't burn up in the fire against the unrighteous. What you gonna do when he come for you? Man, you better look at this for real, for what it's saying. Look, this is very, very important. Because without knowing him, how is he gonna really help us in the time of our need? In Jacob's trouble. All of a sudden, then you gonna change up and you want it your way, so he gonna have to bow down to you and what it is that you desire him to do, when you ain't really talking about him. All you do is listen. Ecclesiastes 39. About these beasts. Ecclesiastes 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. They appease the wrath of the Most High. These are spirits, y'all. Fire, like we've been reading about. Fire. And hell, we just read about these spirits, right? And famine, that's food shortages. And death is a spirit. A death spirit comes, put people to death. All these were created for vengeance. What else? Teeth of wild beasts that we're reading about. That's in the fire but not burning up. To kill the unrighteous. Those that are not holy with the Most High. Those that say we ain't got to keep the commandments of the Most High. Those that are not following His laws, statutes, commandments. Those are not keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. That's the unrighteous. As they put in there, ungodly. Because God is dog spelled backwards. There's a word in the New English Bible Dictionary that says that was used by the Israelites pertaining to the Gentiles because of their profaneness, unholiness, and probably a reference to homosexuality. That's what the so-called white man says. Now make it mean something different. That's the New English Bible Dictionary. Look it up for yourself. And they took dog and spelled it backwards and came up with God. And y'all calling on them as the dog that they were called in Psalm 22:16 says, for dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. Now make it mean something different. Back to the subject. I digress. Listen, about these beasts. It says, hey, you gotta hear what he's saying. Teeth of wild beasts, these spirits, and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. He would have said punishing the wicked to destruction. That's the ungodly, the unrighteous. They shall rejoice in His commandment. They're going to be happy at the commandment of the Most High, and they shall be ready upon earth. Do y'all understand that all these spirits that he just named are ready upon the earth? At any time that the Most High can move them to do His will. He would say, they shall rejoice in His commandment, in His law, that y'all don't like to hear. His commandment. When He tell them to do something, they're going to be glad to do it. And they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not. I repeat, when their time is come, they shall not. I repeat it one more time. When their time is come, they shall not transgress His word. They're going to do exactly what He say do. That's why you got to be looking at this. You intolerable people. You're dealing with intolerance. Why the Most High say He's going to get you. Hebrews 12:29, for our power is a consuming fire. So you're going to burn a lot of people up. Going back to Wisdom of Solomon, 16. It says, in verse 18, for some time the flame was mitigated that it might not burn up the beast that was sent against the unrighteous. You know? The flame was moving out of the way of the beast. They're walking through the flame, not getting burned up, that they can come to destroy the unrighteous. Remember, His ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. Remember, it says in verse 15, but it is not possible to escape thy hand. It's impossible to escape the hand of the Most High, y'all. That's why it behooves you to try your best to have a relationship with Him. You're Israelite. Now what? Now what? So what? 2/3 of our people gonna die. What is the solution that you need to know that's gonna get your name written in the book of life? That's what's important. Because the Most High gonna be all in all. Because he's not represented on this earth. Enough. Because just knowing the Most High, just knowing you're Israelite, you better know the Most High. And you better know who's coming back to judge and make war, Mashiach Yahushua. He said, hey, he told you this. Hold that. He said this. Go to Matthew 7:21. He said, not everyone that said unto me, Mashiach, Mashiach, Yahushua, Yahushua, Jesus, Jesus, Christ, Christ, Yeshua, Yeshua, Yehoshua, Yehoshua, whatever name you say, Yeshaya, Yeshaya, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. What he said? Not everyone that said unto me, Master, Master. See, that's, remember I told you that's what should be there? Master, Master. Because he's the master teacher. Shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. But he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. What the Most High say? The will of the Most High is to keep his commandments. That's the will of the Most High. 1 John 5:3. For this the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments. Right? And his commandments are not grievous. I told you in John 14:15. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. You're not going to run away from the Most High's laws that he wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High. You know, where you going to run away from that? And you can try and look for your justification of how you roll in this wicked world, this wicked, evil world if you want to. But in the end, it's the judgment. And you can't run from that. That's why I say, not everyone that said unto me, Master, Master, Mashiach, Mashiach, Yahushua, Yahushua, Jesus, Jesus, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. But he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. The will of the Most High is to do what he say do, his rules and regulations, y'all. Or tell me that's not. Because a lot of y'all say faith. You got to have faith. Faith in who? Somebody you don't even know? That don't even know you? Faith in someone that you say, I ain't got to do what you say do. Because your son taking care of everything I do that's wicked. I can go out there and commit adultery. I can murder somebody. I can eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, defile my body, eat everything that's under the sun. It's okay, right? I mean, under the law, shoot, you can desire, covet everything that you see somebody got. I can come and steal from you. Come on now. I don't have to follow the Sabbath. I ain't got to use the Most High for my power. Take his name in vain. All these things is abominations, man, sins. The Ten Commandments based upon what? How we love the Most High with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and how we love thy neighbor as thyself as Israelites, who he gave the laws to. And see, y'all got to pay. That's why it said. The will of the Most High is what? To have faith in who? Him? And you don't do what he say do? How you have, make that make sense to me. Y'all comment on this. All of y'all that say we ain't under the law of the Most High. We ain't under his commandments. Comment on this. You could do whatever you want to do. And you're still going to heaven. You could be wicked as ever. Do whatever you want to do. You ain't laying out no laws. You ain't got no moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws. So you ain't doing what he said do. He said, these my feast days in Leviticus 23rd chapter. You're not doing that. So, but you kept Christmas, which is pagan. And you bow down to that idol tree that you put in your house. You bow down to put the present under the tree. And you bow down to that tree, that idol, to take the presents from under. You had all your children, whoever, you put a present under that tree for, to bow down to that idol. But you hear forbear. There's punishment behind disrespecting the Most High. That's why I say I'm going to go to my place and we acknowledge our offense and seek his face. See, nobody really care enough about him because you ain't talking about him. That's why Mashiach Shai say, everyone that say, Master, Master, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. But he that doeth the will of my Father, not what he say do, but the will of the Most High, which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, this judgment, y'all, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in thy name? You know, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushua, you hear that? Ba'ashem Yahushua, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus Christ. Yehoshua, in the name of Yehoshua. Whatever name you're using, they're going to say, you stand in the judgment and say, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? So that let you know that people are going to be doing these things in this time that we live in now. He said, and then will I profess unto them that's doing these things, that you're going to be twisted and thinking that they in the spirit, rolling in the spirit of the Most High. He said, then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. That right there is really, 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 really serious. I don't think people look at it enough to understand what he just said. He said, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. He said, get away from me, ye that work iniquity. You are the enemy of Hamashiach Yahushua. Thinking that you rolling with him. Let you know that people going to be what? Prophesying in his name, in his name casting out devils, in his name doing many wonderful works. In our time, we seeing it. You can see it. But he going to say, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Man, you better hear what he's saying. Better hear what he's saying. That's why he told us before that, verse 15 says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. They come at you like they know something, that they're really meek and mellow and humble, but inside they are ravening wolves. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns, or figs, or thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. Every good person is going to bring forth good people. But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. You hear that? A corrupt tree going to bring forth evil fruit. A lot of y'all think that Romans 11 and 28 says, and so all Israel shall be saved, means every Israelite going to be saved. Listen to what he said. A good tree, those that are righteous, part of the 1/3 of the Israelites, cannot bring forth evil fruit. So if you have taken the time to learn it, live it, and apply these laws, statute, commandments of the Most High, and have faith in the Most High, fearing the Most High, crying to the Most High, and become a good tree, it cannot bring forth evil fruit. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. You understand? So he's here to say a good man cannot bring forth evil babies. Neither can a corrupt man bring forth good babies. See that? Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. That's the judgment, y'all. Because if you blaspheme the Holy Spirit, it is not forgiven in this world and a world to come. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. See? So, this tree, every good tree, what's a good tree? Just show you that trees are considered as people. It's hip talk, but we wouldn't know that if we didn't read and know how to bring forth precepts from what he's saying, because he only had the law and the prophets to go by. That's why a lot of times, you hear him say things, you got to go back to the Old Testament to see. Listen, go to Psalms, the first chapter. And we're going to read, let's start at verse 1. We're going to concentrate on verse 3 from what he just said. Good tree, right? Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the unrighteous. That means those that are sinners. Nor standeth in the way of sinners, see? Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, scorning against this truth. But his delight is in the law of the Most High. Like you hear me say all the time. The law, because I know it vexes you. Because y'all been taught that you ain't got to follow the law. But you got to follow the law of the land, which you do. So who is your power? You ain't got to follow the Most High, but you got to follow the so-called white man's laws. In whatever country that you're in, as an Israelite, you got to follow those laws, which we do. But you better follow the Most High's law. He would say, but his delight is in the law of the Most High. I mean, you enjoy following the laws of the Most High and thinking about what's right from wrong and comparing everything that you're dealing with or that you see compared to this Bible. And in his law does he meditate day and night. Right? Are you meditating day and night about the Most High's laws? A lot of you don't even know the laws. You don't even pray the laws. I tell you can go to going over the laws and let it play in your house. Get rid of all them evil spirits. Maybe the evil spirits that's in you. Because the Satan had to leave. Mashiach kept shy. When he kept going to the law, when he was fasting 40 days and 40 nights. He kept going to the law on him. He can't deal with the law. But a lot of y'all don't know that. That's why you ain't under the law, because y'all rolling with Satan. Y'all the devil. Y'all the sinners that the Most High say, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. Y'all those people. That's what it say. But his delight is in the law of the Most High. And in his law, that's the Most High's law. That his is the Most High's law. Does he meditate day and night? What's right from wrong? According to the Most High's laws. And he shall be like a tree. He, that man, see, blessed is the man. See? That's what my second shy. Like I said, you got to go to the Old Testament, know the Old Testament to understand what he's saying, or what Paul is saying, or what Peter's saying, what James is saying, or any of the apostles and those that were actually written in the New Testament to understand what they're saying from the Old Testament that they had to go by. Listen to what it says. Blessed is the man, verse 1. Verse 3, and he shall be like a tree. The man shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. A tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, because he bideth water. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. See? That's why it tells you, go to Joshua 1 and 8. When we came out of the wilderness, Most High only allowed Joshua and Caleb to bring us out of the wilderness. Isn't that something? The only adults. Joshua 1 and 8 says what? This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. That's why you got to go through these laws, y'all. You can read from Genesis to Deuteronomy, or you can go on my YouTube page and go down to where it says the magnifying glass and type in going over the laws. And you start seeing laws coming up. You see? Going over them. That's what it says. That's why you're going to meditate day and night on the laws and play it in your house. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written. And when you do this, for then when you meditate on these laws therein day and night, it says what? For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. See that? Then you're going to have good success. That's why look at Ecclesiasticus 43 and 26. Ecclesiasticus 43:26. See, that let you know all success is not good. 43:26. By him, the end of them have prosperous success, and by his word all things consist. Hear that? We may speak much and yet come short, wherefore in some he is all. How shall we be able to magnify him? For he is great above all his works. The Most High is terrible and very great, and marvelous in his power. When ye glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as ye can. When you glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as you can. For even yet will he far exceed. You know? Can't do it enough. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. You hear that? He said, when you glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as ye can. Y'all better be giving glory to the Most High. I told you, Moses, let the children of Israel get on his nerve. And he said, how long? I said, how long must we deal with you, Israelites? Must we fetch you water? He was told to speak to the rock. He's going to bring forth his water. He hit the rock twice, boom, boom. You understand this? At one time he did hit the rock twice and the water came out. That's why listening is an art of responsibility. But he told him, he said, hey, speak to the rock. He's going to bring forth his water. But he hit the rock. And the people thought it was Moses and Aaron that brought forth that water. Moses said, you ain't give me the glory. Therefore, you can't go to the promised land. And Moses was a man that Moses said he dealt with mouth to mouth. He didn't have to deal with him in no visions and no dreams like he do everybody else. He said, hey, I dealt with him mouth to mouth. Sent the angel, hey, tell him this, tell him this, tell him that, working with him. One-on-one. And he didn't make it to the promised land. This is what we trying to do. Make it to everlasting life. Or whatever. I don't know what you're doing. I can't say that's at least what I'm trying to do. I can't say what some of y'all trying to do. Some of y'all think there's just like a gang or some kind of club or something. Some hangout or something. I don't know. I wonder. Listen. When you glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as ye can. But even yet will he far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength and be not weary. For you can never go far enough. Y'all better learn how to say praise